Hello there, friends. Let's talk about menopause today and all the fun stuff you get to go through that your provider won't tell you about. My name is Andrew. I'm an academic STEM researcher with over 15 years of experience studying autoimmune diseases and neurobiology. And the first thing that we have to talk about is the changes in your gut microbiome. The bacteria in your stomach and in your intestines actually helps produce secondary hormones for your body, like estrogen. This is referred to as your estrobolome. Not only does it affect this estrobolome in your stomach and your intestines, it actually affects the bacteria in all mucosal surfaces in your body, like your mouth and your downstairs. So estrogen actually has a lot to do with how much saliva is made in your mouth and how much stuff is secreted through those mucosal glands in your downstairs and in your nose. Just like you can experience a dry downstairs, you can also experience a dry mouth and a dry nose. Most interesting thing I found in all of this is the incidence of TMJ being twice as high in menopausal women. This is because you actually have secondary hormone receptors in your jaw too. It's not just the bone loss piece. Like, there are literally receptors in your jaw for estrogen. Bone loss is a big one. Along with that comes calcium and vitamin D deficiencies. Because of the lack of mucosal production downstairs, UTIs and fungal infections become much more common. This is just a PSA for anybody that has older parents. If they suddenly start acting weird and have sudden onset psychotic symptoms, get them tested for a UTI because it can drive elderly people insane. A large majority of these infections are caused either by Candida or E. coli bacteria. And finally, autoimmune disorders. And before we get into this, I have to do my self-plug really quick. So if you love my content, you want to help me keep this accessible to our community, you can hit me up on Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, under the Gooman Stem. Check the link tree in my bio. We've had some pretty extreme weather here for the last couple weeks, and there was some damage done to the apartment that I live in. So they need us to clear out for about 3 days, so I have to find a hotel room for 3 days and then pay my rent on Friday, so so yeah, if you want to support me as a creator, you can, again, check the link tree in my bio. I appreciate you guys as always. Thank you. Alright, I talk about on my channel all the time that autoimmune diseases are much more prevalent in women than men. You can see that behind me, and it's because estrogen is a viral suppressor. If you have too much estrogen, your immune system becomes hyperreactive. If you have too low of estrogen, it allows for excessive pathogen-driven inflammation like we see in Epstein-Barr. It's the fun Bond villain in the Herpel Derpel's family that's connected with like everything on this list. And as per usual, I'll put on my papers below like I normally do. This is what causes a lot of the brain fog. Feelings of chronic fatigue, increased cardiovascular risk, the forming of lipedema in the legs. All these things that have been connected with autoimmune diseases in the brain and in the body. I talk about this really in depth on my page and in my books. You can check the top 3 pinned vids. It kind of explains most of it. But yeah, there you go. Those are some of the wonderful things you get to look forward going into menopause. Again, if you would like to support me as a creator, you can find me in the link tree in my bio, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, under the Gooman Stem. I love you folks. Have a good